Your first video was with the Marines, right? That was your first with the Osprey?
It was with Huey's actually out of Fort Dix,
Okay.
McGuire Lake, Dickhurst, McGuire Lake, Dick. Is that right? Dix, Fort Dix. I always say yeah. So we were out there. We flew with the Marines. That was the first one we ever did. Flew around the Statue of Liberty. Did some live fire. They blew out one of the side windows when they were shooting the 50 cal.
Nice.
And being true Marines, they were like, "Don't say anything. We want to keep flying."
Now, when you're with them,
Yeah.
do they like treat you as one of their own, or they're like, "Oh, it's a journalist"? Like, how is that embedded kind of feel?
Yeah.
Because you are, I mean, you're legit in that, you know, you've served and you've done a lot of cool stuff. So how do they see you when you're doing this stuff?
So those Marines, there's like some super salty Lance Corporal who's giving us the safety brief. All he does is hands me like one barf bag after another, and he's like, "Just in case you throw up." He's like, "If you're gonna throw up, please throw up in these. Let me know." Then he goes on to the safety brief. He's like, "If we crash and you see my like wounded body as you get out of the helicopter, save yourself. Don't worry about me." Like, it's not going to matter because we're all going to die anyway if we crash. That's safety. This concludes the safety brief.
It's an Osprey. Good luck.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So they're generally, the enlisted folks are generally pretty salty, which I think tells me that exactly. The officers are. We have a lot of senior folks that want to be in the show, and if you've noticed, we've never really had any senior folks in the show. But no, I think. Listen, they don't want to mess up, right? So we just flew in the B-1, obviously. Flying into B-2, I noticed they made a big thing when they were doing their pre-flight. Pilot was talking about the pitot heat, which is what took down the B-2 in Guam, right? So there are definitely things that they want to highlight that I'm sure they're told to highlight. But for the most part, it's a genuine thing. We're not looking to embarrass anyone. There have definitely been things that we've left out because we don't want to embarrass anyone. So I think that there's a pretty good rapport. We're not there to be PR for the military. On the other hand, we're not there to to fuck anyone over, candidly.
Yeah. So we got a couple videos from some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're going to start with the B-2. It's probably one of the best. I mean, that was groundbreaking stuff, right? That was
pretty cool.
First ever. Was it the first ever? Second ever? First, second?
I've heard different things. I think it's safe to say I'm the second journalist to fly, but I'm the first to be able to film in it.
Okay. All right, let's play it.
When they see us flying and we know that they're watching us, it sends a very clear message.
Whiteman is a unique base, and that's the only place that's operational B-2.
This is one of the nation's #1 mission sets.
In the beginning, it was just a design. It was an idea.
Saying, hey, this has to fly, it has to fly. It can be anywhere and you'd never know it.
Absolutely perfect, no exceptions.
That's awesome.
That's a cool jet.
So you know what's kind of cool? I know you guys are both DCSers. Just a bit, right? Or no, is that past?
We love DCS. Don't ever say we don't. That was this gets brought up like once per show.
Okay.
I've played.
Yeah.
You've played. You've dabbled.
Expert.
I've dabbled.
You've downloaded the free trial. It expires in 30 days.
He flies the frog foot.
Have you guys played Microsoft's Flight Simulator, the new one?
Oh yeah, went out to their event. A lot of fun.
Did you really?
I went out to the Grand Canyon and made them mad. So yeah.
So in the B-2 episode, people really geeked out over the fact that there was black ice air fresheners hanging from the cabin roof. So they sanitized it, but they left the black ice air fresheners. So we put the video out. People like freaked out that there were black ice air fresheners over it. Long story short, I see the premiere of the B-2 version for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And what do they have hanging from the roof?
No
black
way.
ice air fresheners.
No way.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
So why was it such a big deal? Like, why did people just because it's civilian
it's
stuff?
It's like an Easter egg. I guess because, as I'm sure you can imagine, when there's press or they've got a static display, they're gonna go through the jet and make sure there's no offensive stickers, right?
Yeah.
Or little signs or saying, and I'm sure you guys as fighter pilots might be surprised to know you guys can be a little spicy, just a bit.
No,
I know, right?
No,
not you guys.
No, yeah,
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So they clearly cleaned out the jet and they left for whatever reason with the air fresheners.
It's
So
probably some kind of hidden language, like hidden sign. Illuminati confirmed.
no, what you
Like-
what it really is, movers. You know, it's like a $2 million air freshener that they have to rotate out every 3 months, right?
It's the government
It's on
price.
some like
They're
checklist.
squeezing every ounce of air freshener out of this thing.
And you know why they chose the black ice air freshener as opposed to any other like scent? Because it's the cheapest.
Black Jet. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Cheapest.
stealth.
It went
They
out
got
to
it.
bid, and it just
It's
got the
stealth,
cheapest
man.
bid, right?
Yeah. They got it from the GSA website.
That's right. It was either that or Axe body spray.
Oh, that
Yeah.
for the bros. Yeah. Then you did the B-52, which I've got a clip from that. Let us watch.
The B-52 Stratofortress, heavyweight champion of the American Air Fleet. The 8-engine bomber made its first flight when Harry Truman was president. The military took delivery in the mid-50s, and the nuclear-capable B-52 has been vital to America's strategic readiness ever since. It's a rare opportunity for a journalist like me to ride along on a B-52 training mission. The preparations for the flight were pretty intense. You'll see why. Considering how physically demanding it is just to be a passenger in a B-52.
Yeah. So the funny thing about that is the seat. Have you guys ever been in a B-52? Have you ever had the misfortune of? So there's 2 ejection seats, obviously, where the pilot and co-pilot sit. 2 ejection seats where the secret scroll compartment behind them, and then there's a compartment below that has ejection seat. I'm sitting in a non-ejection seat behind the pilot. So my training consisted of this. The jet goes down. What you do is this. You wait for the guys in the downstairs compartment to eject downwards. And you unstrap yourself. You get up, you climb down the ladder, and you jump out the hole. And I'm like, so I'm going to die, basically. That's basically what you're saying. And even if you do make it out, there's a whole bunch of antennas and shit on the bottom of the jet.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think anyone's successfully ever done that.
Did you sense any rivalry between the B-2 and the B-52 crews?
No,
I'm just curious.
only because the B-2 guys were pretty chill. It's almost like driving a Ferrari and a Honda Civic pulls up to you. Like, I think that's the way that they look at it.
I got you. No words need to be spoken. I got it.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I got it.
it's a totally different.
Yeah.
I think the B-2 guys I wonder what they feel about the B-21. I think it's got to be a bit of a.
Oh yeah.
Oh, new kid on the block. They don't need
Yeah.
air fresheners because it's got the new car smell.
That's right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, the air fresheners are just embedded in the seats. So tell me about the physical demanding portion of this. You had a 6-hour mission that was like at 10,000 feet, right? It kind of didn't go so great.
Yeah.
for you.
So I know this might surprise a lot of people, but the jet broke. And when it broke on the ground, we didn't really know what was broken with it. Which is, there was, I think they understood what it was, but no one understood what the impact would be. So I felt really bad for the film crew. So the film crew got there at 3:30.
Oh wow.
Fire the jet, and then we get there to get ready to step. We're in mission brief. We're getting ready to step, and they're like, the jet's down. And so the film crew had to go grab all the gear, run to another jet, wire that jet. And then and they were like, we're switching crews. And so the crew of that jet was like, we don't want to do this. We're flying a secret, we're flying a mission that has secret stuff in it, so we can't do that portion of the training. And so then we went back to the original jet. So the film crew had to go in, grab all the stuff, go back to the jet. They've been up since 3:30. Sound like 4:30. So we get in the jet, and we're like, we're just gonna go. And the demanding part is, once we pressurized past 10,000 feet, it was the bleed air. I think this is it. Was stuck open, so there was hot air. I mean, when I say hot air, it wasn't like a little toasty in here. It was
Oh yeah, been there in a 38.
So then our
Oh, yeah.
our GoPros failed.
It's from the engines.
Yeah, it's exhaust.
Right.
Hot air. Yeah.
My watch was like, "Are you dead? You haven't moved, and your body temperature is really high." So our GoPros failed, and
Wow.
they were like, "Look, we want." So I give a lot of credit to them. I don't know if you've ever done this when your T-38 happened. This happened, but they were like, "We have to tank. We have to get our quals to do air-to-air refueling." So they went, tanked, switched pilots, tanked, did this 3 times, and they're like, "Okay," and they dove down and depressurized. But that was like,
Wow.
that was painful. So that was the most uncomfortable part of it. It wasn't like, and you do have to get up and kind of move around in that jet. Like you can walk up and stuff. So in a lot of ways, that's worse. Getting it out of the seat is always worse than just staying put.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Did you have to wear earplugs in both the bombers?
Yes.
And were they loud?
I didn't have to, but I mean,
were they loud?
They're freaking loud. Yeah, they
Okay.
are. And the other thing is you can take the helmet off and just go on, headphones.
Yep.
But they're very loud. I don't know what it's like in a fighter, but like it's also the air is really dry. Do you guys have that? Like, is it super?
Yeah, I mean at altitude,
Depends on the jet.
pretty much everything. Yeah, it's going to be dry air at altitude.
I know
It doesn't
that
have
sounds
the
really crispy.
humidifier like the 787 does.
It's not great for the skin, It's just
Yeah.
They were loud. The 52 was probably the most comfortable was the B-2. That had the most space. You could actually get. At one point, I got up and stretched. I think it was you were saying this, Mover, but like everyone I go on, my crew's always like, use the bathroom. And I'm like, Pilot was like, do you want to use the bathroom? And I was thinking about we used like you're sitting in a chemical toilet making eye contact in the reflection.
Yeah, because you're 90 off.
Yeah,
making eye contact to the display.
It's just natural. It's just natural, right? Like
you're what else are you going to look at?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you can't bring your phone. So
yeah.
I mean, what do you have? There's nothing to read.
That's right. There really isn't. It's. I don't know how those guys do it for 24 hours. It's got to be
very primal.
It is
very sounds very primal.
It is, and they have like a nice spot where they can put a sleeping bag and stuff and an air mattress. Not too bad, and the seats you actually have a decent amount of space. The B-1B was like
the Dreamliner.
Yeah, that's right.
The Dreamliner.
Ample legroom.
So when you were at the B-52 squadron, was this after they had gotten in trouble for knocking down all the lights overseas?
I think those guys are always getting in trouble. There's always something that jet is doing. I will say this, that it's funny because every time we go and do this, they're definitely worried about us asking about some mishap. There's always a mishap.
So how about Bud Holland? Like, oh, that was 60 years ago. All right.
That's right. That's right.
This is an old jet. We got a
feels like yesterday.
So, I mean, they're worried about it, but it really doesn't have anything, unless it has something to do with what we're there to see specifically.
Yeah.
It's not going to come up.
How long were you at each squadron?
It's about a week. So we're there about
5
days. Yeah. It's usually 1 day of flying. Some of the helicopters we've done a little more. But it's, as you can imagine, there's a lot of like just paperwork that has to be done. Right. And there's a lot of training that we have to go through, which is not really training. It's just.
Yep.
And then but the big thing is we're trying to cover the maintainers. We get like not just the pilots. No offense. We want to get.
Wait, it's not all about us. What are you?
No, I know you guys are shocked, right? No, but there's we've seen some talk about pooping, right? So going to AFE and seeing how B-52 pilots use piddle packs and CYKs. What are they called? The things that suck the. I don't know if you guys
wait. What? Now?
We don't have those. That option's not in fighters. Although I'm interested.
It's a Stormy Daniels joke.
No one told me about this option.
So there's like, they were. The way that we got the B-2 is we showed the B-52 video to General Bussier, who's the commander of Global Strike, and there's a part in it, if you watch it, where the joke was that everyone was telling me for the B-52, no one poops in the jet, and it's like an unwritten rule. And I was like, after about the third person told me this, I was like, this is not an unwritten rule. Like basically, it's pretty much written because everyone's telling me about it. So I said, this really brings up an interesting question. I think people want to know how you go to the bathroom on a B-52. So they brought me to AFE and they showed me the different diapers they have. They do have something that's like liquid activated when it just kind of sucks everything out. I know it is. Yeah, dude. It's so that was my reaction is when they're telling me this, I just go, oh, that just sounds awful. All of this sounds awful. And we're watching with General Bussier and he starts dying. He's laughing his ass off. He's like, that's the most original thing I've ever seen. Like, that's how you know it's real, because that's not a scripted thing. It's a very visceral reaction to something gross, right? So a few days later, we got a call from Global Strike, and they're like, we want you to do the same thing with the B-2. And they're like, you have 2 weeks to decide, otherwise we're going to CNN.
Oh, no.
So we were done for the year, and we had to like scrounge up all this money and figure out how to do it. and we got it done. But it was
That's
completely like we had no idea that was going to happen.
Now, is there a camera dude like tucked in, like next to you? Is
There's
that how
not.
you're doing it? So this
Not
is
for
all
the
you.
flying, not for the flying. So we do have people that come up and wire the jets, and we do have like for the B-2, we had a T-38. They put a PAO in the back of the T-38, and they were flying around filming.
Nice.
And they had one in the 135. B-52 was just wired in the jet, and we had something in the tanker. But that's the way we want to do it going forward: is have a chase plane. The best way to do
Yeah.
it. So shooting inside is really cool, but
Oh.
if you're not able to film the other aircraft, it's kind of.
So what you're saying is Newsweek's going to buy a jet, like an F-16,
Like a
So what
chase.
and
what I'm
need
saying,
somebody to fly it. is
Mover
what
and
I'm
Gonky,
hearing.
can you guys do this? Just with your hands, do this. Go
I'm
ahead.
not. No, because nope, not going to do it. Not.
I'll do it.
I've been to
See,
see her.
well, Mover,
I
you
know
just
better.
You lost
Yeah.
your shot because Gonky, if you can do that and sit in the back of an F-15,
Yeah,
you can
that's
film
perfect.
us.
Gonky,
Perfect.
you got the back seat. I got the front seat. Questions? See you at step.